Welcome to HyperX Unmuted. It's a series of discussions where we're all going to be encouraged to be unfiltered as we dive into different topics affecting us in, the gaming industry. All right, so joining me, we have Amethyst, Uminokaiju, Emuhleet, and I'm Cupahnoodle. Today we're going to be talking about different topics, revolving around women in gaming and how we're affected and what we think about it. I look forward to talking with each and every one of you today. I feel like we should start off just something brief so the people at least know who we are before they listen to us, Amethyst, I'll start with you. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So I stream on Twitch. I'm a partner streamer. Play mostly FPS games. Been doing it since 2018. And this is dope. I'm really excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Uminokaiju. I've been streaming full-time on Twitch for 8.5 maybe years. And I play games like League of Legends, Apex, and I'm really excited to be here to listen to y'all's experiences.
Yes.
My name's Emuhleet, and I am a professional Valorant player. I've played Counter-Strike for over 15 years as well. A vocational nurse and a 5-time world champion.
Oh, that's sick.
You said that like it was no small feat. That's crazy.
Yeah, earlier she was like, I play Valorant. She's like a professional Valorant player. I'm so bad at Valorant.
That's so awesome. You're a nurse as well?
Yes.
What, can I ask what,
My field?
what your field is?
My field is the mental health field. So I worked at a rehab and helped people that were struggling with addiction. I loved it so much.
Wow.
I have to follow that up? Okay, that doesn't seem, okay. Yeah, I'm Cupahnoodle. I am a variety creator. While you're, being pro, I'm over here playing weird indie horror games. I play a lot of horror games. When I'm not playing games or creating content, I'm usually hosting.
Amazing host.
It's probably why I'm sitting
That's
here.
hard. Yeah, you're good at it.
So talented.
There's so much to talk about when it comes to, women in gaming or representation and just as a whole, what it is we do. I think in order to kind of talk about our experiences, I would like to ask you how you got your start, into gaming and some of your experiences that you've seen since your start. So I will start with you, Emuhleet.
Well, I've been gaming for a long time. So I have an older brother who introduced me into gaming, Nintendo 64. Anyone you played Nintendo 64? Okay, good. So my favorite game when I was younger was Donkey Kong. And my first, shooter game was GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64.
That's a classic. That's like one of my favorite games. I'm yelling for a remake of that every E3. Okay, I'm sorry.
So that's kind of where my gaming started, is when I was really young. But when I've always been competitive, even though I was playing video games, it was never for fun. For me, I had to win, you know what I mean? I got in multiple arguments with my brother. I played soccer, volleyball, but nothing gave me that adrenaline rush like clutching around in Counter-Strike, you know what I mean? So I quit doing traditional sports, went into esports, and went to local LAN tournaments here in California. And there really wasn't many girls that were playing at the time. Hardly any. There would be some girlfriends that would show up, maybe some moms, but no one was really competing. And I know girls like to play, so.
We do?
Yeah, we do, but we just had to get out there and start competing. So I was playing on guys teams at the time, and fast forwarding to 2014, a tournament was coming up in Paris called the Electronic Sports World Cup, and I wanted to go. So that's when I made my all-women's team, and that's when my all-women's team kicked off. So it's been the same team for almost 8 years. And
what's it called?
My team?
Yeah.
Oh, I play for Dignitas.
I mean, she just said her team. I'm like, what's the team name? Okay.
But we were one of the only teams that had no sponsors at the time. We were using some of our college funds, some of our money that we should have been using for bills to go to this tournament to prove ourselves for 3 years. I was working full-time as a nurse. It was a struggle for the first 3 years because nobody wanted to sign a girls team, even though we put in the work. It was a struggle at first.
How are you all now? Are you seeing more sponsorships and more opportunities for growth?
Yeah, there's lots of partners that we have, like HyperX, and we have non-endemic brands too that are investing in women's brands that we've always wanted to see, and yeah, huge change between now and 10 years ago.
Times have definitely changed. Okay, Umi, you're up next.
Oh, okay. So I first started gaming when I was younger with my dad a long time ago. We also had a Nintendo 64. I want to say my first FPS game was Duck Hunt. But I think after, family separated and everything like that, like I didn't really have any opportunities to play games after that. I don't know if it was because I was a girl, but whenever I grew up, I wasn't really allowed to play games. I wasn't allowed to have a computer, and I also wasn't allowed to be on the internet. So there was a time in my life where my uncle actually moved into my house, and whenever he was at work, I would actually sneak onto his computer and use his PS4, or not PS4, sorry, his PlayStation back in the day to play Street Fighter, and on PC I would play The Sims. It wasn't until nursing school. So I went to nursing school, yes. What? I went to nursing school, and during nursing school I needed to really distract myself from studies, because like if I knew that I got like the chapters that I needed done, I couldn't get my mind off of it. So I needed to find something that would help me get my mind off of it, and that was League of Legends. And I played a lot of video games, and then it was a tournament, I think a League of Legends tournament that I joined like 9 years ago, which introduced me to Twitch, because they were streaming that tournament on Twitch, and I wanted to check out our opponents. I wanted to like watch how the tournament was going and watch how they play. And I made an account on Twitch because I actually wanted to win one of the giveaways I did. And from then on, I got introduced to Twitch and streaming, and I thought, since I'm playing all the time anyways, might as well try. And now we're here.
Yeah, I started playing Atari, Nintendo 64. My mom actually is the one, weirdly enough, to introduce me to video games, and she's so cute. She streams now too. Like she's so involved. Yeah, she's a little gamer mom. I love her. It's so different, right?
Yeah. So crazy. I have to tell my mom that.
Yeah. Like, Mom, you gotta step it up. I mean, I used to play Call of Duty with her, Call of Duty 2, but Modern Warfare, the first one, was my favorite. I would, same thing, sneak on my brother's PlayStation. If I got computer time, I finished my homework, and then I was on RuneScape. Went to college, and while I was there, something similar, I just wanted something to do. I wanted to be a part of a community. I wanted to have my own community. I was really inspired by like a lot of other females in the industry. And so I started streaming, and then I don't know, it just kind of took off. I think once like social media with TikTok and everything, we just all started growing, and I don't know, it's been a crazy adventure. But yeah.
Sounds fun.
So yeah, I'm Cup. I've been playing since Nintendo. I'm the youngest, so I have an older brother, and I was kind of just his shadow. And now that I'm older, I just appreciate him for it, because he really could have told me to go away, and he really didn't. So it's like, if he didn't play games, I don't know if I really would have started playing, but it's like he got a Nintendo, then he got Super Nintendo, so I got Sega, he was PlayStation, I got N64. It was only two of us, so I never had a Dreamcast because we had to make a choice. So I kind of just grew up playing games. My dad started playing because we were playing, but outside of games, it was like I still played sports. Like I ran track, I played softball. Like I loved games, but no one really thinks like when you get older, I'm gonna play games. It was just, I played games. I went outside and played, and then when it was time to come home, I played games until it was time to go to bed, unless wrestling was on. Monday Night Raw was real. I hung out with my brother. What he did, I thought was cool. I don't know, you fast forward, I played a couple instruments. So my dad plays drums, and mom's piano. I played bass, I played lead guitar. I did a lot of things, and I never thought like, oh, I'm gonna play video games. And then we fast forward. And so when I finally saw Twitch, I was like, that looks like fun. I can talk all day. I could do that, I got world experience, I've done things. So I kind of started streaming, and I have no esports skills. So it was kind of like, how are you gonna do something different? So I was like, I'm gonna get into hosting. If I can't play them, I can just commentate them, and I can talk about how you're great. And
that's hard to do. Like hosting, people underestimate it. It's hard. So
I would love to know, as far as how we're being represented, how women are currently being represented in gaming. What are your current stances? Are you here for it, or do you feel like strides are coming through, being met, or do you feel like there's room for improvement? Amethyst, let's start with you. How do you feel about how women are currently represented?
Yeah, I think definitely we've come a long way from in the past. like you were saying, you had issues trying to get your team involved and stuff like that. And I think that the gaming industry has come further. There's obviously stuff that still needs to be worked on, but like even like Twitch hosting Women's History Month and stuff like that, like we see that, and yeah, I think we're doing okay. I don't know, what do y'all think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's always room for improvement, but I've definitely seen a lot more women representation. There's a lot of women gamers and streamers that have been like amazing inspirations that are definitely paving the way for a lot of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like when I first got into gaming, as far as just an outwardly approach outside of just leaving your room, I know G4, I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely love G4, so I feel like my first true glimpse was like Morgan Webb. Yeah. She was just cool, and she was probably like my first glimpse into like, there's a world there of people that play games, because it's funny, like I sit with you all now, but when I was younger, I would have killed to know y'all. Like, how do y'all feel about women, representation as far as video game characters goes?
For me, it's a little weird to answer that because like I played Counter-Strike for the longest time and there's no female characters in that game at all.
Are there actually okay, I don't know much about Counter-Strike. Are there actually characters?
They're not really characters. I mean, you just play an agent, I'm saying Valorant terms. You just play a terrorist and a counter-terrorist and that's it. And they actually added in a female person that you play now, but you have to pay to play that person, which is...
They put a female character behind a paywall? I don't want to be that person. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you finally add...
Yeah, so I never looked at it like, oh, I play this game because they have like a cool female character. But now that I play Valorant, my answer is totally different because there's so many cool female characters in the game, like whether it's the country they're representing, which I think is really awesome, or their special ability, their makeup. Like, now I get it. Now I get why female representation matters inside a video game for especially younger girls.
Yeah, similar to Counter-Strike, I play Escape from Tarkov, and they just like almost refuse to add a woman because it doesn't add to the lore, the story of it, because you're playing as you're stuck in this Russian facility and you're trying to escape, and they're like, there's not women there, and I'm like, okay, but this whole game is fake. like obviously there's gonna be stuff that's not real, so why not just also throw women in there? Like, I don't know, it's just like, I feel like we're always gonna be battling a little bit, but it is cool, like you said, to see games that are, like even Call of Duty, like there's some dope women you can play as now and stuff, and what is it called?
Why not? Why not just add in one?
Yeah, just give us one. And then they're like, the hitbox. I'm like, okay. Make her thick, let's go. Like, yeah. I don't know.
There's actually a streamer that I follow that got a character made after her in PUBG. What? So when I recently went back to playing again, just for the day, I was running around and I was like in this building and this enemy came up and I was like, I know her. What? Like I actually know her. I was so, and then I died because I was so confused. But like, yeah, I was like, I know her, like in person, like I know that girl. That was crazy. That was really cool.
That's actually so sick.
That
or like
is trippy.
Yeah, it was.
Or like seeing like Loser Fruit and Chica get like skins in
Fortnite. Right?
I got emotional. I was like, that's so sick. Like,
it is. It's amazing.
They're like little wins that you didn't know were like you needed until you actually got them.
That's
and then
what
you're
it
like,
is.
I didn't know I needed that, but it's very cool. But like, I will say subconsciously, I only really gravitated towards certain characters. So like Killer Instinct, I was Orchid. Street Fighter 2, it was like Chun, and then I went to Cammy. So it was like, whether I realized it or not, it was like, I want to play with them. So when everyone else was, I think the only exception for me was Mortal Kombat. For whatever reason, Raiden was cool to me. I don't know. He was the only exception, but everyone else, it was always, I gravitated towards women. So like when we finally got Tomb Raider, I was like, oh, she's cool. You know, Laura was cool. I was actually like, I cared about her well-being. Any other game I played, they could go, but Laura, I actually felt bad. I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry, you know, from a distance. All right, I do want to ask y'all, serious note, what can women do, or how can women support each other better? I would love to know, you know, how other people can support females in gaming, you know, to close that gap.
There were a couple opportunities that I had where the Twitch Women's Alliance kind of came together and started supporting other women in their like sponsored streams or events that they did. And I think that was kind of like the first experience that I had where they were like visibly like really moving together as a unit to support each other. And again, it's like one of those things where I didn't realize I needed it until I had it. The moment that that happened, I wanted to be able to continue to do that for other women in the industry. So I feel like being that support system and being there and being present is one of the best things that we can do for each other.
So I think it's one of those things where we just look out for each other the best we can, try to be understanding, try to be open, and just do the best we can to just look out for each other. I don't know, Emuhleet, am I missing anything?
See, I come from a very competitive side of esports, and trash talking is part of the game. You know, I want to get in my opponent's head when I'm playing against them because I want to win. And I think there's just like a fine line right now of knowing like it's just trash talk in the game. It's literally nothing personal, and I want to be your friend when we're not playing kind of thing. Yeah. And I just want people to understand that this is esports. This is a very competitive thing. So if someone's trash talking you, as long as it's not nothing too deep or personal, you know, there's a fine line to cross as well. Just accept it and use it as motivation, because I feel like right now we're, at least in Valorant, it's weird if someone, like, right now there's a weird thing about teabagging in the game, and some people don't like it, some people think it's part of the competition. Just know it's literally just because I'm playing against you and we're here to compete, but I want to support you after we're done playing against each other, you know? And like growing up, I didn't have like many female supporters, I guess. So now it's totally different. I think a lot of people, there's enough room for everybody to succeed, essentially. And we do need each other because a lot of people are out to get us too, you know? Yeah. People are constantly judging us, so we do need each other.
Yeah, I think like going back to what you said is starting, like uplifting, starting off small, like starting off in your communities that you're in. Like right now, I'm really thankful the Escape from Tarkov, like women, we really stick together a lot because it can be so toxic and stuff like that. And we even have like our own Discord community right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's so cute. We're called the Chadettes, if y'all want to join. But yeah, we'll send basically like say somebody is harassing someone else. Like we have a whole section where you can, you know, report their name and then everyone can ban them. It's like a blacklist.
They get what they deserve.
Yeah.
Justice.
And we are like sending photos of each other, supporting each other. We host each other, rate each other, and it's really, it's a really like cool community. And I think as streamers, that's like what we have to do for each other is just like support each other. I'm very thankful for like Ammunition kind of took me under her wing, and I look up to her so much. So like she's been so good, and I kind of want to do that for other people as well.
I think when we know that we're not alone, we can grow.
Yeah.
A lot.
I would love to know more about y'all and your accomplishments. So, Umi, what can you say is your biggest accomplishment that you've had, you know, to date in as far as gaming in this industry?
Well, first of all, I feel like my biggest accomplishment is still being here after 8.5 years. That's kind of crazy. You know, I don't know if you guys can relate, but I feel like every day is like we worry about tomorrow. And I actually had the opportunity to work with brands that I never thought I was able to. And these two brands that I'm about to name, it's like really weird. It's crazy to like say out loud. But I had the amazing opportunity to be a part of the very first Olympics on Twitch.
What?
That's insane. That's huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then I recently also had the amazing opportunity to work with Adidas. And that has been like a dream. It was like such a dream that I didn't think that it would ever come true. Like I would tweet about like, oh, you know, my goals for 2022, but it was a joke. Like I didn't think it was actually gonna happen.
Manifesting.
Yeah. So you are manifesting your tomorrow. We love this for you. Okay.
You
All right,
deserve
Amethyst, what about you?
I think working with, like you were saying, brands and stuff, like even working with HyperX is an amazing opportunity, but a big accomplishment, I think, is just continuing to grow on Twitch, to be able to have a community that I love, and we're very inclusive, and they give me the opportunity to have a platform like I do to be able to speak on things like women in gaming. And a couple weeks ago I was able to go to a convention called GCX, and I was on a women's panel there where it was a similar conversation where it was just like uplifting each other and how we can be more involved and stuff like that. So probably that, having more of a voice.
That is amazing.
Well, me and my team, so we won 5 world championships, and I guess that's a pretty big accomplishment.
Congratulations. That's insane.
Yes, that's huge. Oh my goodness.
3 of them were in a row. We've made it to 13 grand finals in Counter-Strike, so we almost had first a lot of the time. But this was all while I was balancing working full-time as a nurse, and you got no sleep. I had to drive like a 2-hour drive to LA, back and forth for work 9 hours, and then practice with my team for 8-9 hours. So it was a struggle, but I'm so passionate. I didn't have to make a penny. What mattered to me was getting that trophy, and I'm just really proud that we did that. And now that's why we went to Valorant, because I want to be the first all-women's team to win 2 game titles.
So you can just casually say, 13 grand finals, so you can casually talk about the Valorant wins in the future. See, y'all heard it here first. That's really cool.
That's amazing.
Like, I don't want girls to go through what me and my team had to go through when we first started playing. I mean, there's always going to be toxic people, with anything you do, even in nursing, waitressing, anything you do in life. But in gaming, I want us to help pave the way so people don't have to deal with what we all dealt with when we first started,
Yeah.
It was definitely a different time.
Yeah. Whenever I started gaming all those years ago, there were like League of Legends teams. They weren't pro, but they were like girls that got together to try to like go competitive. And back then, like to a lot of the community, it was a joke.
Yeah.
They made memes out of them. They weren't taken seriously. So to see your success now and the path that you're on and the path that you're paving for these younger girls who have that dream, like now it's actually real.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's no longer saying one day I would like to see. It's like they see that through
It's
you.
happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it's just gonna get bigger and better. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. See, now I can say, I know someone, I got a friend and she does this, and that's big. That being able to brag about, your peers and like people you meet, that's one of my favorite things. One, it shows me that there's nothing we can't do, because even if I'm not doing it, I know someone else who is. So very cool that you're paving the way. Umi, you're still out here killing it. Amethyst, you too. It's always tough when it's like, what's my biggest accomplishment? Because I'm like, I don't know. I haven't done nothing. Like it's crazy.
That's a lie. You've done so much. What are you talking about?
My community is a big one. Honestly, my community and my family are the reason, why I do everything. I don't know, I guess like Umi, because we got to do the Olympics together. Because you were on the other show. See, I had a show with NBC. Umi had a show with NBC last year for the Olympics. So it's like, I think my show was first, because I think we started off. And then
on the replay?
Yeah, so it was a replay, and you were up next.
When you were hosting the replay, though, I got to be a guest on it. And I just want to say that actually every single show that I've ever been on with you, you make it so easy. Like, you are very, 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 very talented. I mean, all of you guys are. And that's why we're here. And it's amazing to be in your presence and be a part of this, like, with you guys. It's so cool.
Yeah, like going off what you said, you said you had a lot of anxiety and like doing stuff like this. I mean, same. So, and you have made this incredibly easy as well too. So,
y'all,
yeah.
I can talk to y'all all day. Y'all are cool. I don't know. And I get to learn a lot from you, because like Umi said, y'all are accomplished. Like, y'all have done some very insane things, and it's like an honor to be able to just sit down with y'all and like pick your brains. It's like, even though we all do very different things, we have a lot in common, but we also have a lot to learn. All right, y'all, so we're getting close to the end of this, but, I want to ask, because there's always 2 sides to every coin, and I think for everything that looks really pretty about what it is we do, there's another side where it's kind of like, I hate it here, and that's fair. So I would love to know, I'm going to start with you, Amethyst. What is some advice that you would like give to past you or anyone looking to get into this, just what you've learned as far as being a part of this industry?
Okay, this is going to be kind of cliche at first, but to not give up, to keep going, because there's going to be so many bumps in the road. There's going to be so many people telling you that you can't do it because you're a woman, or, the industry is too saturated and stuff like that. But I think if you just keep working hard, and when you put your mind to something, you're going to be successful at it. I had friends and family members that didn't think I could do it, or they thought that what I was doing was something completely different than what it actually is. And so I think just proving them wrong is worth it.
Piece of advice for anyone who wants to become a pro athlete. is to just know that all of your sacrifices are worth it. Because, I mean, I barely spend any time with my friends, family. I barely have any me time, but I mean, I want to be the best of the best. So just know everything that you're sacrificing, if people truly support you, it will be okay and it's worth it in the end. Because once you lift that trophy, I swear it is the best feeling in the world. So keep going.
That was so inspirational. Now I want a trophy.
You could do it.
For me, this is such a loaded question. I think this is also kind of cliche, but it's to be yourself. I feel like if you love it, gaming, or anything in the gaming industry, whether it be hosting, if you love it and you love the community and what the community can bring, like, just be yourself. And I think the other thing that I would tell myself is that you're not alone. Especially being here now today, I'm definitely not alone. So if you keep trying and you love it and you keep you keep moving forward, I think what we've built is pretty awesome for everybody coming into it.
Oh, I'm getting all like butterflies.
I'm emotional.
I guess I have two big ones. One is I didn't realize it when I first started creating content. I went from like streamer to streamer host. Now I'm just content creator, right? Like, we're on multiple platforms, and quintessentially, yes, we're content creators, but we're also businesses, right? So we conduct ourselves as such. It's more than just saying, I play video games. I think that's what people think on like the surface, but it's like there's so much to be learned. And I've learned so much about myself doing this, and financial literacy doing this. And I have an LLC now. It's more than just saying, I'm a content creator. It's so much more that goes into it, and you just get to learn so much about yourself. So I just feel like it's more than just creating content or playing games or winning tournaments. Yeah. It's like it's learning how to build strong foundations for your future, because this is business and there's a lot of business to be done. Yeah. But it's like, if you want to continue in this business, we have to learn it. And I think going into it, we don't expect to have to learn these things, but it kind of just punches us in the face, and you're kind of like, oh, these are contracts. Oh, this is this. And before you know it, it's like things are showing up. So just always be open-minded, be ready to learn something new. If you can deep dive into financial literacy early, consider yourself lucky. I think a lot of us just crash coursed it as we kept going. Yeah. And then just a quick one is just FOMO. Like, don't have FOMO. I think a lot of times we see each other, and it's very easy to want to do what we see our peers doing, because it's dope, right? It's cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm competitive, I'm a little sweaty, but that doesn't mean all because I hung out with Emuhleet or I get to talk to you about Tarkov and I know you play Apex, I'm gonna come home and be like, well, I'm doing this too because I don't want to miss out on something. And it's like, no, like, you do what you want to do because you want to do it. And I think it sits better with you when it's not forced, because it's real. So no FOMO. Don't let FOMO catch you slipping.
I really liked what you said, be ready to learn. And then I think all the stresses that come along the way in the 8 years and all the struggles, when you look back, I mean, at least for me, I remember all the memories. So like,
that's so true.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember what sub count I had, but I remember like all the people that I met and all the memories, and that's what we work for. And I think that makes it all worth it.
Absolutely. Well, all right, Amethyst, Umi, Emuhleet, thank you for hanging out. This has been honestly a really, really good conversation. It really was an honor to get to sit down and get to know each and every one of y'all a little bit more. Thank you for putting up with me. I hope I was cool as far as questions. I was trying, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I could really listen to y'all talk to me all day.
I feel the same. No, for real though. We could sit here all day. Let's have dinner later.
Absolutely. And all right, y'all, thank you for tuning in for HyperX Unmuted. If you have anything you want to leave in the comments for further discussion, let us know. Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. We really hope, to move forward with gaming and just having these discussions in general. So definitely get involved. Let us know in the comments, because it's all of us coming together. And so we can't do that without y'all. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Thank y'all.